All right, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to the morning market update for Friday, December the 20th. We made it. The week is almost done, and this is the last trading day, if you will, not of the year yet, because what we're going to be doing at Trade Pro Academy is we're closing down the trading room all next week. So I will come on during the week and do little updates here and there and wish you happy holidays. So turn your notifications on. We're going to do some fun stuff. Might do an impromptu Q&A. We'll see. I'll go live a couple times next week just to keep in touch with you guys because I'm gonna miss you, honestly. But other than this is the last one before the Christmas holidays. Monday, 23rd, 24th, volume's gonna be slow trading. 25th, markets are closed. 26th and 27th as well, low volume. So because it's in the middle of the week, a lot of people have taken that whole week off, so you can expect slower market conditions. And then the next week as well is the same thing. New Year's Eve falls on, or New Year's Day is dead smack in the middle. Markets are closed. You'll have maybe a little bit more movement next week or the week after next, but not as much as a typical week. In fact, it already feels like a holiday market. All right, so a few things we're going to talk about this morning. Let's start out with the Santa Claus rally. It's officially here. We've seen the market move to new and fresh all-time highs at 32.16.5. It was just put in literally a few moments ago. That's a new all-time high. We were looking for a breakout to the upside in our trading room. We're talking about, hey, even though the market's consolidating and we had a fierce 3-day range, getting in on the low points of that range or buying the support level for the expectation of trend continuation is the right move. And so you just have to be patient if you're a swing trader or a longer term trader. If you're a day trader, there was an opportunity yesterday, and that when it broke out, it was a great time to be on board that rally. Today we're going to see what comes with the opportunity, but I think it'll be a little bit slower. It will move slow. You almost have to do 1 to 2 trades max and go from there. All right. But yeah, S&P 500 markets are at all-time highs. In other news, Donald Trump is not yet impeached. So I made a mistake yesterday calling it impeached. I hadn't realized because, look, in previous impeachment proceedings, all right, the House would send the impeachment articles to the Senate right away. It's an urgent matter. If you're going to impeach a standing president, it's an urgent thing. It's not something that, we'll wait for it till after the holidays. It's, all right, we voted for an impeachment. Let's submit those articles to the Senate so the trial begins. And when the Senate actually takes the impeachment articles and announces the impeachment articles, that's when the president is effectively impeached. So from a legal standpoint, Donald Trump is not yet impeached. And if Nancy Pelosi doesn't submit those papers, he may not be. Interesting, right? So it's not the reason the market's rallying, but it could be one of the forces, one of many. And we're going to talk about the other one shortly. All right, so there you have it. Donald Trump is not yet impeached, even though the vote has gone through, until those articles are submitted to the Senate and the Senate announces it. Then it's an impeachment. All right. Basically, it's like a prosecutor saying we got a whole bunch of dirt. Let's prosecute, but they haven't really submitted, the forms to the court or the evidence. So let's continue forward with quadruple witching. Today's a quad witch. I tried to find a witch hat, and I didn't wear it. I don't have a witch hat in the office, unfortunately. None of us are witches. However, I have a Santa hat, but I didn't wear it today either because it ruins my hair. See this little thing here? This usually means it's time for a haircut. Vicky, it's time for a haircut. And it's happening this weekend, guys. Tell your friends I'm getting a haircut. All right. Quad witch is today, which means stock options, futures on stocks, and option indexes on indices, rather. All 4 of those things expire at the same time. Quad 4 witch. And what ends up happening is a lot of volatility. So in a moment in the trading room this morning, I'm going to log into the options platform that I use and show the team what some levels are based on the expectations of options, open interest, volume, etc., and where the contracts are on the call and put side. There's a theory called max pain where the stock market will expire just at the level which will cause the max amount of loss to the most amount of participants. That's important in quad witch. Another thing that's important to know is in the morning, it's not as volatile, but in the afternoon, it can get very volatile because you have pretty much 2 hours to close out your contracts and do a trade because they're expiring. And the question is, if you own the contract that expires today, all right, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sell it and open a new trade for the new year? Are you going to sell it and cash out and wait? And so when you're looking at it, technical analysis and technical levels, indicators, order flow, all the tools we use for high probability trade setups stop working in the afternoon. Because imagine you're a big institutional fund, then you have 7,000 S&P. Let's go even bigger, 10, 15,000 S&P 500 contracts you have to close out because they're expiring. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, well, here's a support line. I can't really sell it here. This is a nice support. This is my Heiken Ashi, level, my Ichimoku clouds, and all these other. They don't give a crap about that. They're dumping those contracts, and the market's going to react to it. So there's going to be a lot of fierce movement. Day traders love this. Some day traders, I personally don't. I don't participate in the quad witch. The main reason I don't participate in the quad witch is because you got to be around the market till Friday afternoon. And these days, I never make it to the market in the late afternoons. Okay, be reminded of this. It's the last day of full volatility, full weeks for the year. It's a quad witch. It's probably not a good idea to be meddling around with that stuff. All right, you've been warned. Volumes will be high. Volatility will probably be high as well. But there is a bullish bias in quad witch situation. So keep that in mind. All right, other news, the repo market. Federal Reserve had a $35 billion 2-week liquidity operation yesterday, and it was undersubscribed. There were less bids than the availability of capital. Therefore, that shows that there's an improvement of liquidity and a less shortage than expected of US dollars. And part of this as well is because the markets are going up. If the markets had sold off into the end of the year, all right, liquidation margin call is going to raise demand for cash and liquidity, and we could have been in trouble. But I think we're going to make it through this turn period that it's called, where 1 year ends and the next year starts. There is still a funding shortage for December 31st, but the Federal Reserve's throwing everything at this market to provide enough cash so we could move forward with an orderly kind of stock market. And you could see it shrugging it off. I think actually the undersubscribed repo market is a bigger factor in the rally in the S&P 500 than is the Donald Trump non-impeachment impeachment. All right, in today's markets in Asia, Japan. Hang on. All right, we just have to buzz somebody in. Let me just put this thing on mute. Japan's down 0.2%. Hong Kong's up 0.3%. China's down 0.5%. India's flat. In Europe at midday, London's up 0.2. Paris is up 0.6%. So is Frankfurt. And in the United States, all markets are flat from their open. But S&P's actually rallied off that level since I wrote the quote down. It's up about 4 handles. All right, and continues higher. My target on the S&P 500 for today is pretty high. If we could get enough buyers, actually it's not that high, 23 to 25 area would probably make a lot of sense. And I'll show you guys with some options ideas where the real money is saying there's going to be a target and a support. It's really important to use options when you're doing your analysis on a quad witch day, especially. All right, crude oil is down 0.6%, and after the opens, recoup some of those losses. Gold is down 0.2%, hanging around its open at the moment. Bitcoin's down 0.3%, back above 7,000. And on today's economic calendar, we had a few U.S. Data points. So at 8:30, we had the core PCE inflation coming out in line with expectations. The GDP deflator slightly lower, and U.S. GDP, the final for the third quarter, in line with expectations at 2.1. There's 3 readings of the GDP. 1, 2, 3 GDP. That could be a song. All right, that could be a pop hit right there. 1, 2, 3 GDP. We'll figure it out. And so, the third reading of the GDP is actually the least important because you've already had 2 revisions. It always hits expectations. And it's so long ago for Q3 that nobody really cares anymore. There's other data that we're looking forward to. All right, so pretty insignificant economic news this morning. It's not really important. 10 a.m. we have consumer sentiment rather. That's going to be a pretty important update. And then that's the last for the week. 1 p.m. Baker Hughes rig count, and that caps off the trading week. So this is it for me. I probably won't have any more trades after today. This is the end of my trading year. And so it's been fun, guys. It's been one heck of a year. We've had a lot of tumultuous market behavior and price action. We have trade wars, impeachment hearings, the Russian situation, there's just been a ton of things that have happened. The repo on September 11th with interest rates going to 10% overnight. There's been a lot of volatility this year, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of glad and joyous at the thought of just wrapping up the book on 2019. So it's going to happen today. So for me, even though there's opportunity, I'm going to be waiting for the right trade. I'm going to be hard pressed to go out there, and I'm going to be firing 30 bullets today. I got five trades max. The way it's moving right now, I wouldn't be surprised if I did 2. But there is a little more volatility today. There'll be more opportunity. So that's it for the trading. Next week, I'll be on a couple times here and there. Maybe we'll do a Q&A session around the holidays. But I want to wish you guys a happy holiday. If you're celebrating, Merry Christmas. And we'll see you again before the new year. Be good with your families and friends. Form some good memories and send you love, joy, and happiness for the next couple of days. I love this holiday. Gives us some time to relax, spend time with our family, and the markets are closed, so we don't have to feel guilty that we're missing anything. All right, we love you guys. Take care on YouTube. I'm going to very quickly go through some of the questions. Thanks, Daflex FX. That's a tongue twister. I like that name. Thank you, Craig. Happy holidays to you as well. Jay Muller, exactly. I like it. Pelé. Thanks, brother. And everyone else on YouTube, we love y'all. Raymond, Will, George, Naren, all of you guys, thanks for commenting. Take care and have a good day. Trade pros in the room. Let's send it over to Steven to talk to us about oil, and then I'll boot up the options platform. Let's take a look at some of the liquidity points in the market based on this quad witch. YouTube, have a great day and an awesome weekend, and we'll talk soon. If I don't see you, happy holidays. Ciao.